What's good, guys, and welcome back. Today we got some very exciting news for Assassin's Creed Shadows, where wildlife and animals in this game is going to be a very huge thing. And I've just got my notes here, all the things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys in today's video. Now today Ubisoft actually sent me a mail which consisted a lot of interesting information, as well as some of the concept arts for Assassin's Creed Shadows, which is going to be representing what the gameplay is all about. Now I wanted to go ahead and make a video about this because I think that all of the information that Ubisoft has revealed today is just absolutely incredible, and I don't think that there is any Assassin's Creed games out there which is as ambitious as what Assassin's Creed Shadows is setting out to be. Now I don't want to be talking too much here because I want to go ahead and show you guys what this new concept art that Ubisoft sent me consists of. Now as you can see, we've got a new concept art where you can see Naoi, who's the female protagonist of the game. Now she's a shinobi as well as an assassin. Now she's basically standing in what seems to be like a jungle in Japan. Now it seems like jungles in Japan is going to be far different and more denser than what we've seen in any other Assassin's Creed games before, because as you can take a look at this one massive tree, the size of the trees are going to be like super massive compared to any other games that we've seen so far. Now I know that most of the Assassin's Creed games like Odyssey and Origins, like Origins had a lot of deserts and Odyssey had a lot of greens, but I don't think that there was really like a dense jungle in the game, which Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be bringing out. Now not just that, if you take a closer look right here, let me just zoom in and you guys can actually see that there is a monkey right here. Now from all the research that I've done on this monkey, it is one of the variants of different monkeys that we're going to be seeing in the game, and this monkey is called the macaque monkey, and we will get to see a lot of packs of monkeys in the game, and there's going to be a lot more wildlife, but this time wildlife in the game is actually going to play a much bigger role than most of the Assassin's Creed games. Now if you take a closer look, there's also an entire family of monkeys over here, and there's this solo monkey that's just trying to approach Naoi, and apparently there is a shrine or a temple that's hidden underneath this tree which we have to explore. Now it seems like throughout the jungles there's going to be a lot of different locations which will be hidden, or maybe it's going to be some dungeons or underground places that we need to go ahead and explore, which is not a new thing when it comes to RPG Assassin's Creed games, because there's been a lot of these things in the past as well. But right now what's interesting is all of the wildlife and the setting of the game, where the jungle is going to be massive and thick, and it's going to be denser in terms of vegetations. Now if you guys have played Ubisoft's recent game, which was Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, then you guys would probably know how dense the jungle was, and the forest was just filled with a lot of different trees, which was really vibrant, it was radiant, and it just looked absolutely nuts beautiful. The game just looked like absolute photorealistic masterpiece, at least in terms of the visuals, and it just seems like Ubisoft is trying to go for something similar with Assassin's Creed Shadows as well. Now moving on to another concept art that Ubisoft has shared with me, where you can actually see that there are two deers here in a very dense forest, and then there's like a waterfalls, and there's one of the Japanese characters that's just crossing over this river. Now what's interesting is that if you take a closer look at this character's horse, you can actually see that he's carrying a hide, which means the skin coating of the deer. That probably seems like he's going to be one of those hunters in the game, and hunting in Assassin's Creed games have never really been given that much of an importance before. And although you could indeed hunt animals in Assassin's Creed 3, where you can use the pelts and all that stuff in order to craft items, but then in Assassin's Creed Shadows it seems like Ubisoft is trying to take things a little bit further on, where you can see all of these different animals being present, and you can also carry their hide, which means the skin, which is something we are already familiar with Red Dead Redemption 2, which actually did an incredible job, and hunting in that game played a massive role. And I myself spent so many hours just hunting down wildlife in Red Dead Redemption 2 because that was so good, it was so realistic, and I think Rockstar did an incredible job with that game. And it seems like Ubisoft is trying to adapt something similar with Assassin's Creed Shadows here, making wildlife and hunting and also collecting the hides and pelts as one of the major things in the game, which is something I'm really curious to see how it's going to be working. And after I've seen this image where you can actually carry the pelt on your horse, and it actually seems like it's a deer pelt, and you also have a couple of deers just watching him just walk by, and most probably it's the pelt of one of their family members, you never know. So the world is going to be super brutal, wildlife is going to be a major part of the game, and we also have another confirmed information that throughout the entire map of Japan there's going to be a lot of contrabands that are going to be transferred from one kingdom to another, and the game actually has a couple of different regions that we're going to be exploring, since the map of this game is going to be like super huge. Even comparing it with Odyssey, this is going to be one of the most largest games that we've seen in entire Assassin's Creed series. And it seems like the kingdoms are most likely going to be sharing their resources. And from what we can see from the concept art, there are going to be contrabands which are going to be transferred from one kingdom to another, and you'll see a large number of soldiers or samurais just escorting the contraband, which could either include a lot of different goods or items that most probably we as players will be able to steal, and most probably there'll also be some very important characters that are going to be transferred from one place to another. Now, if you're seeing this show named Shogun, you would actually know that there was a contraband where they kind of travel from one kingdom to another inside this box-like thing where important people are basically carried by all of the samurais, and then they're protected by their soldiers or samurais, and those important people are going to be protected all over by their samurais. That's probably something you'll see a lot in the show called Shogun, which is one of the shows that actually got me super hyped for Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, if you haven't seen that already, it's available on Prime. I don't know, in some regions it might also be available on Netflix or maybe in Hulu. So according to your regions, go ahead and check it out on whichever platform it's available. It's a must-watch show. It's really, really amazing. It kind of just shows you the culture of samurai as well as the leader who was Shogun. And the places that was shown in the game is also going to be the same places that we will get to explore in Assassin's Creed Shadows as well. So it kind of just gets you a little bit excited because you already have seen the show and you kind of know some of the characters. And once you play the game, you'll get to know all of those histories and you also visit all of those places. So it kind of just, hypes up things when you finally get to play this game, which is something I absolutely love. Now, Axis the Elements have shared some very interesting updates on all the different castles that will be available in Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, it seems like they're going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 castles, and this is what they said, that here are some landmarks featured in Assassin's Creed Shadows, according to art director Terry Dancero and historian Stephanie Anna. Now, there are 2 castles that are shown here that kind of excites me that it's actually present in the game, which is from the Shogun's TV show. The first castle is the Azushi Castle, and then we also visit the Osaka Castle, where both of these castles are playing a major role in the Shogun TV show. Now, if you've seen that show, then you would probably be enjoying exploring all this stuff. Now, I also think that the Koyasan Cemetery is also one of the places that was shown in the TV show as well. So all of those places are going to be present in the game, which is something that I'm super hyped about. And we also have a couple other castles that were shown in the game, which is the Himeji Castle and Takeda Castle. And these are just one of the confirmed ones as of now. Now, of course, there will be plenty more, which we don't know yet. But of course, we'll get to know all of those informations as we get to know more from Ubisoft. Now, one of the castles that was confirmed is actually from one of this clip, which was shown in the cinematic trailer, where you can actually read the Japanese translation, which says that the enemy is at Castle Takeda. So it's one of the things that was already confirmed, that Castle Takeda is going to be one of the major places in Assassin's Creed Shadows where we will have to assassinate one of the characters. So I'm just kind of a little bit more curious, since I'm a huge fan of the series Shogun, so it kind of just makes everything a little bit more interesting for me to go ahead and explore the culture of Japanese, as well as, visit all of these different places. And as you know, I'm a huge fan when it comes to, Japanese games. And usually any open world games that's set in Japan is something that I absolutely don't miss, because Japan is always one of the most beautiful places, and also they have some incredible cultures, and I really hope that Ubisoft does respect all of those cultures, although I guess that they've screwed up a little bit when it comes to, making Yasuke, who is a historical character, into someone that is just LGBTQ character in the game, where apparently the romance options for Yasuke is going to be gender neutral, which means that Yasuke could make love to female as well as a male. And a lot of Japanese fans are super angry about what Ubisoft is doing with one of their historical characters, who is Yasuke. And most of the people in Assassin's Creed community are like, dude, this is always a feature that was available in most of the Assassin's Creed games. So it's not something you need to get mad at like it's something that's absolutely new or Ubisoft never did this before. But the reason why people are actually mad about this is because all the characters that we played as before in Assassin's Creed games are just fictional characters that was not representing any culture nor any history or nothing as such, right? Now, when Ubisoft says that they have done their research in terms of, sticking to one of the historical characters and recreating the story of that character in terms of representing history, and they want to show respect to the culture of Japan, I also believe that, Yasuke should have been left alone in terms of the romancing option, and they could have done whatever they want with Naoi, especially since Yasuke is a historic character that represents the history of Japan. And then simply just altering his gender and making him gay is just something that Ubisoft is personally personally just taking over. And there's also been a lot of backlash going on in the community. Recently, Elon Musk, the man who owns Twitter, and given his take on what Ubisoft is doing with this game. The first thing is that there was this tweet which comes from Ian Miles, who said that Ubisoft should delay Assassin's Creed Shadows in response to widespread backlash over the game's injection of DEI. Now, the game is so thoroughly woke that it features a black gay protagonist depicted as a real historical samurai in Japan. Offensive beyond belief. No one asked for this. To which Elon Musk, who is the owner of Twitter and Tesla and one of the biggest minds out there in the world, decides to just come out of nowhere and reply to this tweet where he said that DEI kills art. And that's why Ubisoft is purposefully just pushing the woke agenda into their games. And I personally think that, it's kind of a bit disrespectful in terms of Yasuke being portrayed as a gay character. So it's kind of a bit funny in some instance because, Japanese people are really upset about the fact that, Ubisoft is destroying their culture and they're just, trying to portray something about a historical character that is not true. Like, there is one for a historical fact that Yasuke, who was a samurai, is not really an actual samurai. He was just someone that would basically just carry swords for the Lord Nobu. And then there's also another fact that Yasuke was not a samurai who is gay, who is now being depicted in the game as gay, just because Ubisoft wants to make their game go woke. But nonetheless, I guess the game is still going to be fun to explore and play and enjoy. Now, of course, it's going to be player's choice. I don't think the game is going to be forcing players in order to make Yasuke do things that is not historically accurate. So it's completely up to players. If you don't like the idea of that, I guess just don't choose the option for Yasuke to become gay. Or if you are someone that really likes it, then you can go ahead and do it, I guess. But nonetheless, the game is still going to be fun. And the mechanics in the game and all the features does seem like Ubisoft has been innovative. That all of the wildlife is going to be a massive thing in this game. And it just seems like they're competing with the hunting mechanics of Red Dead Redemption. So I'm kind of very curious to know what you guys have to say about this whole situation. And there's also another very interesting topic that's going on in the community where you can actually see that there is a samurai here who's holding a sword. And if you take a closer look at the concept art, you can actually see that the character's hands are white. And Yasuke is a black character. So a lot of people have been saying that this is a white character design. And a lot of people in the community have been saying that this is a white character design confirms that the story has been changed from the beginning. Now, also speaking about this whole thing, there has been a few rumors lately that, Assassin's Creed Shadows storyline was kind of changed and the entire concept of the game was actually altered. Now, this was not a confirmed information from Ubisoft, so you kind of know that it's just a rumor. But as far as what we know and what we see from some of the concept arts, it does seem like the male samurai was supposed to be a Japanese original character, but then they later on went ahead and changed it into Yasuke, who's a black character. And this could possibly be true, or maybe, Ubisoft just wanted to be a little bit creative and went ahead and accepted Yasuke as the main character, because maybe they wanted to be different in terms of what they're portraying as a samurai, comparing that with most of the other Japanese games, because usually when it comes to Japanese games, it's always Japanese samurais, because this could indeed be a creative thought that Ubisoft wanted to go with, or maybe this could just be some woke agenda that they want to push in. So unless we have any confirmed information, we can't really say that the game is going to be bad or whatever, because as far as all the informations that we received regarding gameplay of Assassin's Creed Shadows, everything just looks really interesting, and it seems like Ubisoft has worked on this game extremely ambitiously, and it's going to be one of the biggest games that's coming out from Ubisoft after a very long time. And I'm just very stoked and super excited for this game, and I would of course love to go ahead and hear all of your thoughts down below in the comments. So absolutely feel free to go ahead and leave your thoughts, and I would just love to go ahead and read as many comments as I possibly can and reply to as many of you guys. And I would love to go ahead and see a very interesting conversation going on in the comment section related to all of the things that's going on with Ubisoft and having, Yasuke as a protagonist, as well as all the wildlife things that we've discussed in today's video. Now, of course, I will keep you guys updated with all the latest and the greatest information that comes up related to Assassin's Creed, as well as most of the upcoming games that I believe that, the community is super excited for. And some of the games that I feature on this channel are really, really amazing, and I think you guys should take a look at most of the videos that I've posted. There are some very incredible games that I posted in the past, and some of the games are really good and they don't really have good marketing team, due to which I decided to go ahead and promote them on my channel so that my audience can go ahead and take a look at some incredible games and fall in love with these games, and hopefully you guys go ahead and try it. So if you guys are open to exploring new video games that's coming up in future, then my channel is going to keep you guys updated with all of those information as well. So it's absolutely free of cost for you guys to subscribe to this channel and also turn the notifications on, because I post videos every single day and you guys will keep getting updated with all the latest and the greatest informations in the gaming industry. Now, if you guys are going and enjoy this video, and if you guys are excited for Assassin's Creed Shadows, then drop a like on this video. It really helps a lot to the channel as well as to me as a creator, because your support, it really means a lot to me. It kind of just keeps me motivated in order to make better content every single day. Now, with that being said, hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on tomorrow's video. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.